Hi, everyone. I'm really excited that we're gathered here together to talk about a new plan that we're going to be implementing in our school district. We are going to be talking about learning about and implementing professional learning communities. So, what are professional learning communities? They're quite often referred to as PLCs. Some of you may have heard that term, maybe you've worked in other districts where you've utilized them. But a PLC basically is an ongoing process in which educators work together. They work collaboratively and recurring cycles, so over and over, of both inquiry and action research to achieve better results for our students. So we're looking, we're learning, we're doing the inquiry, and then we're putting that into place with some active research, action research to make better results for our students. So PLCs operate under the assumption that the key to improved student learning is the continuous learning of educators. So we're the people teaching our students. We need to keep learning, we need to keep growing, and we need to keep developing in order to meet the needs of our students. So what are the big ideas of a PLC? Number one is we need to accept learning as the fundamental purpose of our school. That is the reason that we are here. And therefore, we need to examine all of the practices we do that impact the learning of our students. We're committed to working together collectively to achieve our purpose. We want to cultivate a collaborative culture, working together. We're no longer individuals, we're teams. We're working together and we're trying to develop high performing teams. And then finally, we need to assess our effectiveness on the basis of results rather than intentions. So we may want something to happen, we may have hoped it happened, but we need to base our effectiveness on actually what has happened. What are the results that we're getting? So therefore, we need to seek relevant data and use that in our continuous improvement process. We need to transition back into the we instead of me. Here's a quote that I thought was very interesting, that I thought sort of summarized the idea behind this. I want you to take a few moments to go ahead and read that yourselves. So, this talks about we are not individual teachers behind a closed door doing our own thing. We are a group of professional educators that can benefit from working together to help better meet our student needs. We need to shift from the me and the my classroom to the we. So what are the four critical questions that must be addressed during, when the PLC process? There's four critical questions that we need to continually be thinking about throughout the process. They are, what is it we expect our students to learn? How will we know that they've actually learned it? How will we respond if they don't learn it? If the students haven't gotten the information that we're hoping that they've gotten? And then what will we do in response if our students already know it? We know that you have a classroom of students in front of you where they are all at different levels. They have all different strengths. Some of them maybe have learned it. Some of them maybe haven't. Collectively, maybe they're not where you want them to be. So these critical questions help us think about where are we going to go in the PLC process. So why should we commit to learning for all? We're thinking about every single student in our classroom. Why should we commit to the learning for all? We need to prepare students for their future, not our past, not where we've been, but where we're going. By 2020, 60% of jobs are going to require a post-secondary education. Those who haven't learned how to learn are going to be left behind. Think about that again. Those who have not learned how to learn will be left behind. In the 20th century, illiterates were people who could not read. In the 21st century, illiterates are going to be those who have not learned how to learn and be able to do that outside of our school setting. To sustain access to the American dream as the land of opportunity and social mobility. So we need our students, when they leave us, to be able to access that dream. Education is the most powerful tool we have to help students rise out of poverty. We are falling behind the rest of the world when it comes to education. The U.S. dropped from first in the world in percentage of high school graduates to 22 out of 27 advanced economies. We are in the bottom end of students that are graduating from our school system, and we must change that. Our current system isn't working. Potential dropouts can be predicted as early as first grade and then identified with accuracy by third grade. What a scary thought. There are serious implications for those who fail and are not successful in our school setting. Those who do not graduate will cost our taxpayers $292,000 over the course of their lifetime, and these students are more prone to ill health. So, we've talked about PLCs, but what are we already doing? What are we already doing that is going to help us get there? Well, we are already meeting consistently. We already have grade level teams. We're working with our morning wing times. We're meeting in our SAC times, our subject area committees. We're already doing that. We're already working together. We just need it to be a little bit more intentional. We've already established our group norms. So when we're working together in teams and meetings, we've already talked about what we need to do to be effective while working together. We created them last year. We're just going to continue to build on that. Our student work is sometimes present at the meetings that we're having. So sometimes we're bringing that student work to our meetings to talk about what's going well, what can we do differently. This is the PLC process is just putting that into more of an intentional protocol. We're sharing our writing prompts. Like I said, we're bringing that data to our meetings already. We're talking about what students are doing and some areas that they can improve upon. So that's definitely part of the PLC process. We discuss students. We talk about difficult lessons. We talk about things that we're doing well and that we're not doing well in the classroom. So we're already doing a lot of this. We just need to firm it up and put it together in a more concrete PLC process. We need to build on what we already know. We don't have to start over. We need to build on what we already know. And this is just a group of people working independently to achieve a common goal for which a group of people working interdependently to achieve a common goal for which we are mutually accountable for. So now that we have that idea, we also need to talk about something really important and critical to our building moving forward. We need to establish our mission, vision, values, and goals. This will help drive our work. We will always be able to go back to this document and think about what is our focus, what are we doing, and how are we getting there. So how do we focus on our work? Our mission, number one, it's why do we exist? It's not just for people within our organization, but the outside as well as why are we here? What are we doing? What is our mission every day? Our vision is not about where we are right now, but it's what do we want to become? Where are we going? Our values, what do we care about? And what are our guiding principles? What is factored into our day-to-day decision makings? What do we care and what's guiding us along the way? And then finally, our goals is how are we going to get there? What will we do? And some concrete things to work towards. So how will we know that we've achieved our overall mission, vision, and values? Those are our goal statements. So going forward, our SAC groups, our subject area committee groups, are going to be transitioning into PLCs. So our first work is going to be reestablishing our norms, things we've already talked about, but just in our new groups, we want to make sure that we understand what everybody's role is, make some collective commitments on how to move forward. And then we're going to start brainstorming and collaborating on our building, mission, vision, values, and goals. And for that, I provided this worksheet, this template. I'll switch to that screen right now. It's a template that I'm going to ask all these groups to work on and just basically put some information down, start talking together, discussing, these 4 areas and what do we feel about what we're already doing and what we think that we're committed to doing. After that, we're going to meet collectively during our staff meeting next week. We're all going to come back together after you've worked individually with your subject area groups, so your newly formed PLCs. We're going to ask you to bring that worksheet back, and we're going to talk together to discuss our findings and see if we have similarities, see if we have some themes that have come up in our discussions. So what we're going to do is we're going to break up into 2 groups. We're going to have English language arts, we're going to have science, we're going to have foreign language, tech ed, and music in one group during that staff meeting. And then we're going to math, social studies, business, FIED, and art meet together as well. And then we would like to see if there's common themes that have come out of your PLC meetings and try to put those individual documents into one group document that then we can go ahead and share out to the whole staff. And then we're going to eventually try to merge all of those documents together. We're going to do that share out, like I said. We need to think about moving forward. It's a very exciting time. We're going to be developing these PLCs. We're going to be learning together. We're going to be growing together. And this just kind of made me think about, the vision that I want for this building is it's time for us to move from an interest in the PLC process to a commitment to the process where there's no excuses for failing to move forward. We're in this together. We're going to learn together. We're going to work together, and we are going to find ourselves in a much different place as we go along this journey. So I'm very excited about it. Please let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk soon.